FJ80. It's actually an FZJ80. It's a classic Land Cruiser, 1997. I used to have a 93 and I loved it. I drove, did a lot of bird dogging in it. There's not a better four-wheel drive in the world than these things. And so I've been looking for a couple of years at least, maybe 10 years really. The one that I had that was so nice, I actually gave it to an employee that had a fast expanding family, and I gave it to him, and I was upset with him because he traded it in on a Nissan Armada, got himself in debt when here he could have had the whole thing paid for. Anyways, that aside, I've been on a quest looking for one for a very long time ever since. I found this thing. I got Chris with me. We're going to take a ride in it. I'll go check on some of the jobs I got going right now. But this thing is beautiful. Special thanks to Jose out in Illinois. I bought this thing online, sight unseen, but Jose, one of my students in the mentorship, which by the way, I got a mentorship, FlipAnything USA. Be sure to go FlipAnythingUSA.com. But anyhow, one of my students there, he went and test drove it, checked it out for me, and really, really pleased. It's just, haven't seen anything as clean on the inside and out. I found a couple little minor things, but that's okay. So we'll jump in the car and we'll check it out. All right. So I got a little camera mount here. And so yeah, I guess real quick I can show you here. So look, this thing here, it's awesome. Everything is clean. The ones I've seen before, the plastic's brittle. This thing's been garaged. Barely any rust. You can see up here. I'm sorry, I lost you for a second. Anyhow, it's really, really, really nice. Dash is great. No cracks, nothing. Still has airbags. New enough to have airbags. But like I say, total bulletproof. Bulletproof truck. It really is awesome. So again, you guys know Chris here from the class, and we'll get this thing far enough away we can get in here.
That's great.
So let's see. So when the guy rolled this off the truck, I didn't even know that the car was here. They're supposed to call me. They didn't do that. And the guy comes out and he said, "Hey, the parking brake doesn't work." And I go, "Oh, that's not good." So then the next thing I found a little something that sounded like when they unloaded it, they caught the rear fender flare. Didn't scratch it, but it kind of broke a little bit of a mount on it, so a little disappointed about that. The air conditioner's not working, which, my bad, I should have had you check that out, Jose. I wasn't worried about it.
That's a must fix.
Yeah, but we're in Texas. I mean, it's a cool day here, and we still need an air conditioner. Yeah. So,
but man, this is legit, Tom. I've probably had 3 or 4 Toyotas in my life. Most of them Tacomas. I've also owned 2 4Runners, but I've always had my eye on the FJs. They're really sweet.
My first Toyota was one of these, and made me a believer ever since. It is so beautifully made, and of course it's probably the toughest Toyota there is too. But since then I bought a Toyota. I got a pickup. I forget what it's called.
You've got a Tundra.
I got a Tundra.
The older model, which
yeah, I bought that brand new in 2006, and a lot of people ask me if I want to sell it, and the answer is no.
They hold their value really well.
Yeah. But hey, I've got a book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. If you're an FJ80 enthusiast like myself, hey, get into real estate. You know, this is one of the beauties of being in real estate, is having the ability to just buy toys like this and everything else when you start making more money. Yeah. And so it's a kick, you know, no hurry to get this. I got to put my Porsche in the shop anyways. It's due for its...
Actually, on that note, Tom, my wife, she was driving a Subaru Outback for quite a while. And like I said, we've owned a couple Tacomas. She really likes the way a Tacoma drives. She loves driving a Tacoma. Oh, that's like a car. And so recently, after one of my real estate deals, she said, "Hey, you think we can get a Tacoma?" And I said, "I'm on it." So sold the Outback, used a little bit of profit from one of my sales.
Right.
Got her back in a.
There you go. Real estate profits. Yeah. Happy wife, happy life. Right.
Yeah. Well, and to your point though, it's really fun to. I was able to just pay cash for that thing.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, that's how it should be. You know, also, I got to tell you, one of the things I wanted this for is there is not a better bird dogging vehicle than this. Now, granted, the thing only gets 10 miles to the gallon. It's got a very big a straight line 6, a 4.5 liter, but I love it. You know, I'm not worried about the gas, obviously, but it is a beast, and it's a fantastic four-wheeler, and it's all-wheel drive all the time. So even when you're in, you know, rainy conditions on the street, you know, the thing just takes corners wonderfully, and you know, nothing like my Porsche that's all-wheel drive, but it's still not bad. It's, you know, I'm not going to go as fast, obviously, but I can tell you one thing: this thing has massive disc brakes on it, so it does stop. This is a heavy vehicle. That was another beauty of this truck, is that it's so heavy that it's classified as a commercial vehicle by weight. So you can buy it and you can write it off as a commercial vehicle. And not every, you know, car has that option because they just don't weigh enough. So we're gonna go, and we're driving by a lot of property here. Take a look. There's the restaurant. Oops. There's the restaurant right there on the right. I sold that a while back. I just think it's always good to share some stuff on the road with you guys. So we're going to talk about, also I want to talk about, you know, I was looking at Ryan Pineda's site, and I hate to just go pick on him for the sake of picking on him, but I'm looking at Ryan Pineda, and I'm just kind of looking at some of the, you know, he come up in my feed, and I see how I became a millionaire, I think in 3 years or something like that. And so he hadn't been a millionaire all that long. And then, you know, then I see a thing where, you know, how I make $1 million a month, which I find hard to believe, to be quite honest. And then I see, what was the other thing? There was another thing. Oh yeah, then I see another thing. Oh, you know, the wealthy way, how to make money. And then the next video I see, it's, I was wrong about real estate, or I messed up, or I don't, you know, I screwed up. And I'm thinking, no, been in real estate way too short to make such bold predictions, or to think that, and also how I've made hundreds of deals. I think I heard hundreds of deals. What'd you hear?
Well, he's not the only one. There's a lot of people out there that say, I did 100 deals this year, or I've, you know, and I'm just like,
the bottom line is, I'm calling bullshit on all that. There is no way he's done 100 deals a year or 200 deals a year, or whatever he said. I would like some clarification on that, because if somebody's going to say they've done 100, listen, I've been doing this 41 years. I've done a couple hundred deals. That's on the purchase side, right? I guess if I really wanted to exaggerate it, I could say I did, you know, maybe around 350 deals, because I sold.
You bought and then you sold.
Yeah, I guess if I wanted to.
Sold.
Right, but I don't like to do that. I don't like to exaggerate. I really don't. I think it's disingenuous, and it bothers me when people do it, and that's why I'm bringing it up.
Well, I mean, you just think about this, Tom. Okay, picture this. How long does it take to actually make a transaction with the title company typically? I mean, it can take 2 or 3 weeks.
No, listen, I'm good at math. Okay, listen, I've averaged doing a deal about every 2.5 months, and I've made tens of millions of dollars, okay, over my lifetime with this stuff. So what I think you must be doing is you're counting other people's deals as your own. I don't know what else it could be, you know?
And other people's deals, meaning you're just grabbing money from them, and then...
I don't know how you call it your deal. I mean, to me, a deal is one that I go out and find, negotiate, purchase, and resale. So if he's purchased and resold that many properties, that's pretty amazing. I mean, it's super amazing.
Unless he's got like 15 people working for him, making the deals. And
well, I know, but if you're only making $5,000 or $10,000 a deal, and it's just some sort of this wholesale crap, again, it just takes forever to get wealthy. But I'm open to it. But what I'd seen of the little video that I'd seen is I didn't see anything that really backs it up. Again, when somebody says, I've made these deals, I've made 100 deals, that shouldn't impress anyone. I mean, if you made $1 a deal, it means you made a couple of $100. If you made $1,000 a deal, it made you. But I can't believe it. Listen, he spends more time in front of the camera, and every time I see him on the camera, his hair is either blue or green, or, you know what I mean? In other words, I think this guy spends more time on his hair than he does on deals, because there's just way too much in front of me, way too much primping. I mean, listen, I bust my ass. I don't have even time to get a haircut like that.
Well, I mean, so what you're saying though, Tom, is, and we see this with,
and I'm not saying you're lying, Ryan.
Right.
I'm just saying, I'm not. I'm just saying the perception for somebody to be so dapper, okay, and you know, and like I say, hair changing colors and vaguely talking about, very ambiguous. When you talk about deals, that's very non-specific, you know. But it would be great for you to show where you've made $1 million on whatever, 10 deals, 100 deals, I don't care. Quantify it, but quantify it. It's important. And this is one of the reasons, you know, people like me pointing this stuff out, is because most people don't think in terms of numbers. You know, it's like, just recently I was talking about, you know, look, the interest rates, 200,000 is the new 400,000, and the point of that is, you could borrow $400,000 for less than what it cost you to borrow $200,000 a day. 6 months ago, $400,000 cost less than $200 a day, and that's why so many people are in trouble. And on that point, you know, Ryan Pineda had mentioned that. Anyways, but when he bought this 332 unit deal that he was talking about, to me, and I would be very interested in knowing anybody that's in that deal. I would love to hear from you, because to me, I didn't really like the deal from the beginning. It seemed a bit circuitous, and it was kind of like it's gonna be worth 20 million or something like that. No way. I wouldn't have paid 10 million for it. And the other thing is, think about this. You now have, whoever you resell that complex to, they're facing interest rates that are probably 3% higher than whatever they have in place. So it's going to cost basically twice as much to purchase that on the borrowed money.
Yeah.
So that's a nightmare to be upside down in. And now, so whoever buys it from you is going to have to get substantially more rent in order to cover the mortgage.
To justify it.
I mean, they got to have the money. And who are you going to get it from? You're going to raise the rent on people that are like the lowest in the food chain when it comes to money making? People that are more worried about, I mean, people that are affected
during a recession.
Yeah, it's a recession. I mean, cereal's expensive. Eggs have almost doubled. These are the people that are eating more cereal and eggs. Believe me, I used to be one of them. I was one of those guys on the welfare wagon. I got powdered milk. I got free. You know, I came from a family that had been on welfare at times. And so I know about that shit. And those people, believe me, you cannot raise their rent. You cannot raise their rent unless they're in a HUD situation. Might get a cost of living change, go up. Ain't going to keep up with the mortgage, that's for sure. But the other thing is, with that going up, you got, like I said, you have people that have trouble filling their gas tank every week, and or eating decent. And now you're going to raise the rent in order to make it happen.
It's really interesting. You know, as you talk about this, Tom, I do think about some videos I've watched on YouTube, and I don't know if Ryan Pineda says this, but if he has, you know, a brokered deal where he's using other people's money, we hear Robert Kiyosaki, we hear Chris Crone, but they talk about using other people's money. Man, I would just be sick to my stomach if I'm using other people's money to go try to make money off of them, and then I basically, everyone's, where's the money? Where's the money?
Well, actually, to that point, those guys really don't say they're using other people's money. That's what they ought to be writing a book on. I'm talking about Chris Crone, Grant Cardone. They should do a book on other people's money. I don't talk about using other people's money so much. But the fact is, if you're producing and giving the match, you can buy a smaller deal. Which, on that note, I think I've seen Ryan Pineda did some sort of collab with Chris Crone. I think he said I gave Grant Cardone, I don't know, 50 grand. Chris is gonna look at
This tracker on Tom's new SUV, so we can bird dogging with him. That was new SUV, so we can bird dogging with him. That was Barry.
Yeah, well.
Sorry, Barry, I can't. Barry.
Yeah, well.
Sorry, Barry, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
Chris is a real plus for the channel. Hey, thanks, Vito. Afternoon. Barry says 10,000 deals a year averaging.
But on average, I've done, you know, whatever, say 40 years. 200 deals. I think, boy, that doesn't sound impressive compared to Ryan Pineda or Crone, who's done 1,000 deals. You know what I mean? And like I say, but let's clarify, what is a deal?
Yeah, well, what's the quality?
When Chris Crone says deal, he's talking about buying a property with somebody else's money, and they could be paying full retail, which is kind of what I think he does. Again,
yeah,
it's nothing, and that's the thing, is when you go buying property with. On this side, looked at this.
Yeah. We're bird dogging.
Yeah. So also we're.
But actually, I made an offer on that house too, Tom, and they wouldn't take it at the
claim
time.
jumper. He's the claim jumper.
Before it was even on the market.
Yeah,
I made them an offer, and they wouldn't take it. I guarantee you now they would take that number I give them, but I wouldn't give it to
them.
them.
And now you wouldn't take it. Yeah. Well, they thank them.
Yeah.
So actually, this is a house I bought. This is a house I actually bought a while back. This is a good looking little place.
I like the rock finish on the outside.
Yeah, well, if you remember, I did a shitload of repair on this thing.
You did. It looks really good.
And this is a good thing for you guys to look at. See this deal? You can look at, I can't remember what I called this video, but that video, when they did the rock on this, and you can see, you know, some people either love it or hate this stuff. I'm okay with it. But this kind of rock is kind of a pain to place, and because you got to take time to fit it in.
It's like a puzzle.
Yeah, but when you're doing this kind of masonry and rock work, you want things to fit somewhat tight. If they don't, you just got tons and tons of cement to mix and mud, and that's what brick guys don't really want to spend a ton of money on cement. They want to fill it with rock. It's more economical, and so when good mix. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you want to help the channel.
And
I appreciate it.
And drop a comment in the comments below. Let us know what your favorite dream car is, or maybe even your favorite Toyota make, like the Land Cruiser.
All right, we're starting to sound like goofy gurus, but okay. Anyways, yeah, sure, go ahead and do that. But number one is, if you're new here, go check out the mentorship survey. Go to FlipAnythingUSA.com and go to get in on the free webinar. And by the way, anybody that jumps into that free webinar, you're automatically registered to win a free Home Depot card for $500. And so Barry, you can do that. You should do that. Anyways, all right, we'll see you guys later before this thing craps out again. Bye.